everyone, Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. Today I've got something really special. This was sent by a viewer. Huge thanks to Steve for sending this along. This is from the Pena X series. So most of you are probably familiar with that. If you're not, custom knife maker Enrique Pena, who's famous for kind of building these, traditional style knives, but using, sort of modern features like lock and bearings and high-end materials and steel. Really cool. So very quickly, I'll just let you see the packaging here. This will be just a first impressions video. I'll have a lot more to say in a follow-up video, but this will just take a couple of minutes and I'll kind of go over with you while I'm kind of first experiencing this. So I've already taken the knife out, but if you haven't seen this packaging before, if you've watched this channel, you have, because this was the same packaging that was on the Chavez, the 229. And I think we've seen it on others as well, probably some of the Todd Bag collaborations. Anyway, get that out of the way. Here is the knife itself. And let's start out by saying this is a beautiful knife on its own. This very clean, standard trapper design, complete with nail nick. If you just saw this knife from, I don't know, GEC or Case or something like that, you'd be like, hey, that's a really nice looking knife. I love the design, the cleanness of it, just the simplicity of it. It's a really nice looking knife, all on its own, okay? Then if you kind of flip it over and you realize, wait a second, there's a little more going on here. Now I've got a lock, I've got a pocket clip, and if of course you deploy the knife, if you don't use the nail nick, if you instead use the nicely jimped tang of the blade there, it deploys so nicely. And this is one of the most addictive knives I've ever handled. Now, this is smaller than a knife that I would want to carry on a regular basis, but honestly, guys, this is one of the most compelling little knives that I have handled in a while. It is so impressive. It's just the design of it, the look of it, the cleanness of it, the size, the deployment. I mean, it's just so nice. By the way, these were $275 when they were available. They're pretty well sold out everywhere. So again, a huge thanks to Steve for sending this, because even if I wanted one, you're not going to get your hands on one very easily right now. They were quite popular. Very quickly, specs on this: 3.5 inches overall. 6.5 inches overall, and it's actually just a hair under that. 2 3/4 inches on the blade. 3 3/4 inches on the closed length. So that's, how much space it would take up in your pocket. 2.2 ounces and 3 1/4 inch grip area. Let me see if I can do this left-handed. There we go. Yeah, you can. And 3 1/4 inches grip area. We've got this single position clip on this side. Beautiful micarta, titanium bolsters here, really nicely blasted titanium, M390 on the blade, flat grind with a clip point and this nice swedge on top. So those are all the features that we're dealing with here. It is a bearing pivot. I may have not have mentioned that, but if not, that's what we're dealing with. And you can see the liners here, backspacer, and these very nicely done micarta. Just gorgeous. I can't. I want to just stop the video and just admire the knife for a while. I'm trying to fight the urge to do that, but let me kind of hold this up so at least you guys can do it. Take a good close look. This knife is an absolute work of art. Just beautiful. Very nice. Great action. So addictive. And I have to say, I love this trend, and I love Pena's designs. In preparation for this video, and even when I knew this knife was coming, I try to familiarize myself a little bit, and I've done this lots of times, but I went on to Pena's website, check out all the custom designs. And that's how I like to do that first, in order to kind of get a sense for, their particular design language and what they like. And I've got to say, as I look through the Pena customs that are available, like every single one, I just say to myself, wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that's beautiful too. Wow, that's awesome too. Every single one is just fantastic. He tends to make knives that are a little smaller than I like to carry, but honestly, as I'm looking at this knife and contemplating, I should probably pick up one of the X series Lannies, because they're a little bigger. There's definitely a knife I could carry and feel comfortable with, but they are so nice. Anyway, I love the designs that he does. They're all so attractive and so simple and so well balanced. So of course, collaboration with Riyadh. Riyadh is the builder on these, and we've seen that, as I was mentioning, with a couple of other makers, and they do a fantastic job. I mean, they just do every single time. The only two things that I really think about this knife is the blade grind is actually fairly. It's thin behind the edge, but it's a fairly aggressive angle here. I wonder if it would have performed better with a higher flat grind. And I'll report back on that when I do a bit bigger discussion. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time with this knife. Again, this is not my knife. It belongs to someone else, so I'm not going to be taking this out to the bush and pounding on it or anything like that. I take care of these knives that are sent to me by someone else for review quite carefully, but I do try to, gain enough experience with it that I can speak with, that I can tell you guys about it effectively. So, again, that's my overall thoughts on this knife are it's beautiful. And what a perfect expression of a traditional design done with all the modern accoutrements. It's just such a cool idea, and it's such a compelling little knife. If you're the one of the people who got one of these, and as I said, I looked around a little bit. There's not that many of them out there. You can, yeah, I think there'll be more coming. I'm sure if you really want one, you can go on the secondary and get one. But I've got to say, what a beautiful little knife. And I'll have more to say about features and idiosyncrasies and anything that I find that I don't love in a fuller video discussion. It won't be a real review because won't be able to put this through its paces the way I normally would for a review. But nonetheless, a fuller video is coming. So if you want to see that, make sure you hit like and subscribe. In the meantime, head over to DLT Trading. Use my link in the description box down below, and you can pick up. They tend to do a lot of nicer high-end stuff like this. So if you use that link, it does help the channel. Huge thank you to Steve for sending this. Thanks to you guys for watching, and we will talk to you soon.